What's going on, guys? It's Pixelated, and today we are looking at an unusual sneaker. When I first saw these, they really took me by surprise for many reasons. For one, it's a basketball shoe, and I really haven't worn a modern basketball shoe in ages, unless it was actually on court. So without further ado, let's give these babies a nice warm welcome to LA. I mean to my feet. We're looking at the ever so coveted John Elliot x LeBron Nike collaboration. It's the Nike x John Elliot x LeBron Icon Quick Strike, a triple threat of legendary proportions. This was something one would dream of, and I'm not just saying that because I definitely dreamt of it. And as soon as I heard about these sneakers and I saw the teaser photos, you know, the ones where like 3/4 of the shoe wasn't even in the photo, and we saw that one photo of LeBron wearing them, I still wanted these. This shoe released in limited quantities and sold out immediately almost everywhere. When it comes to Canada, the only place that released them was a Canadian retailer known as Essence. It's spelt like someone with a lisp saying sense, but it's Essence. I'd assume they dropped them in store first, then released them online. The official release date was August 4th, and every store that dropped them pretty much sold out instantly, if not quickly right after. Essence was an exception. They had some sizes even 20 to 30 minutes in, just because they were shipping to Canada only, and the converted price was just a tad too hefty for most. My total came out to around 380 Canadian dollars after shipping and taxes, so there you have it. That's almost resale on a lot of sneakers these days, but I knew I had to have these, so I didn't hesitate to get my pair. And here we are. I just bought my first modern basketball shoe in a long time to rock casually, which is once again a rare feat for me. As you can see, I'm rocking that cozy fit with these because that's how these are meant to be worn in my eyes. Got the reigning champ sweatpants, but it's also for good reason. If you think I or most people who bought these are about to ball out in these, you got another thing coming, my friend. Now don't get me wrong, there's definitely gonna be select people who ball in these, but I mean, come on. When was the last time you seen John Elliot ball out? When have you seen him create clothing for basketballers? That's right, this is cozy wear at its finest. I really can't wait to get into the details of the shoe with you guys because there's so much to unpack here, and these really are a game changer. The story of these shoes is a very unique and particular one. As John Elliot recalls, one day in 2014, while his brand was still small, operating out of a room in a warehouse in Vernon, California, also known as the armpit of LA, out of nowhere he got a call from someone saying that they were LeBron's stylist, and that's how their connection began. Fast forward to 2018, and John Elliot is a huge name in the luxury streetwear industry, while LeBron, as always, is the ball legend, dare I say, icon that he's been for a long time now. The shoe dropped alongside a collection of Nike x John Elliot x LeBron apparel as well. If you know John Elliot, he's always about that simple look, but premium materials and perfect fit. Not like a snug fit, but a nice, comfortable fit that sits well on your body and feels like quality at the same time. I've always known him as the jogger or sweatpant god. His come up was off the popularity of his perfectly made joggers when joggers were still cool. I still think they're cool, but a lot of people would beg to differ with me on that. Don't matter, haters gonna hate, right? He did the same thing with this Nike collaboration. Most of the apparel is available in black and some pieces in white too, but they're all built with premium material blends, comfort, and a hint of athletics in mind, especially with the involvement of sportswear brand Nike and high-class athlete LeBron. John Elliot said the setting or theme of this collection is LeBron James when he's going through that tunnel in a basketball stadium, for example, where you see the athletes going from entrance to locker room and locker room to basketball court, and that really shows in this collection. It's sort of a transition from track pants and casual style to basketball ready, all infused in one. Look at the collection and the shoes, there's no doubt a sportswear look to it, and that's just a given, but with athleisure being so commonplace now, that undoubtedly propels the whole casual appeal of the shoes and clothes. Okay, enough of the backstory, let's get into these shoes. I'm super excited to get into these with you guys. The entire upper of this shoe is a very clean black and white colorway. If you've been following me for a while now, you know I'm not typically a fan of simple black and white monochromatic colorways for the most part, but there are always some exceptions. The SNS X Social Status Ultra Boost being an example of a good monochromatic execution. This shoe is one of those as well. It executes that monochromatic look flawlessly. Shout out to John Elliot's expertise on that. The upper of this shoe is made of premium performance and luxury materials. Some I've yet to figure out what they are, but let's start with the most familiar. The heel has a leather heel tab. It feels thick and nice to the touch. The laces on the shoes are flat, all white laces with black metal tips, and are probably the least premium hit on the shoe. Moving on to the good stuff, we have this almost two-piece upper that's part futuristic see-through ripstop material and part classic luxurious soft buttery leather. Any more adjectives I could add to that? So we have this translucent ripstop material that makes up the majority of the upper from front to back. Then we have these threads or fabric somehow mixed in with this ripstop to create these black grooves that form a mudguard overlay around the toe box. and a visual heel counter around the back. At first I didn't know how they did that. I thought they stitched it in, which is probably impossible, and then I realized it's most likely just sealed on top of the upper somehow with some form of transparent sealing adhesive or something. We have an alternative black line pattern on the midfoot running up the eyelet and onto the other side of the shoe. This pattern reminds me of those super wide flat wires. If you've ever opened up a computer and seen those giant wires connecting components that just look like a boring looking fruit roll-up laid out, that's what that reminds me of. We have a black Nike swoosh on the toe box. The tongue is made of this ripstop material also, and this is where we see the transition from performance to luxury. The entire edge of the tongue is made of this super soft white leather, and the back of the tongue is made of a patch of white suede. Then the entire ankle support and heel area is made of the most premium tumbled leather known to mankind, or at least to me. It's super soft and has a lot of give. If it wasn't for the supportive ripstop layer covering the entire shoe, this leather would have practically no support. That's just how soft it is. An important detail to note is that the front of the shoe, mainly the toe box, is translucent, so even though the shoe is this simple, sleek, monochromatic color, Nike did what it's been doing best recently on their latest releases like the Element React 87. I love this feature because even with a shoe like this, you get the opportunity to hit these shoes with a pop of color and flair that's exclusive to you, so long as you pair it with the right socks. You can see I've done that here with my blue socks, but of course you can do it however you like. Finally, we have this full Max Air Unit midsole. If you're a LeBron fan, you already know this. These shoes were designed from the ground up. It's important to know that this is a brand new silhouette, but the midsole is taken straight from the classic LeBron 8. Now, I'm more of a LeBron 2 guy just because to me they're the most casual looking and the most stylish, while the rest of them are just too basketball-y for me. But the LeBron 8 is a classic silhouette with some of LeBron's most iconic and coveted colorways having dropped in that silhouette. We have an all-white insole with LeBron and John Elliot branding. Lastly, we have the icy blue outsole, which I'm most definitely going to regret getting dirty, but what are you gonna do? It's not like they give you a choice here. As for sizing, I went with my true to size 10. I'm a wide foot, #DuckFeetGang, and true to size fits great for me. The ripstop material on the upper isn't super flexible. It's not meant to be, but it's soft and malleable, and even though it's a casual shoe for me, it is still designed as a functioning ball shoe, so it's a very form-fitting fit. It's not too tight by any means. As a matter of fact, the heel feels great and a little airy just because of that soft layer of leather. If you have crazy wide feet, you could potentially make a half size up work, but I would hands down recommend true to size on these. One thing these shoes really blew my mind on was the comfort. Seriously, I wasn't expecting much more from these than I would with any basketball shoe. A nice snug fit with some support for ball, and that's about it. But these shoes are far from that. The ripstop material feels great around your foot. You get a snug fit, but it's hella comfortable just because of the soft and malleable properties of the ripstop layer. It also makes the shoe super light. Then the entire padded leather heel portion of the shoe, you feel that immediately as you put them on. It feels like a nice soft blanket hugging the back of your foot. When I got these, I figured the shoe would just have a generic Nike insole, and it most likely does, but this insole is almost double the thickness of most Nike shoes I've ever worn, and even the full-length Air Unit feels softer than the typical Air Unit you normally get from Nike. That last one might just be a placebo or something, but just know the wearing experience of these shoes is hella satisfying. Overall, there's so much to love about these sneakers. If you love LeBron but don't wear ball shoes, this might be his first shoe ever that might appeal to you, or even if you don't love LeBron and are just a fan of nice premium sneakers, or a John Elliot fan, these are definitely a highlight for any of those guys involved. Now, I don't see these as ball shoes, although they definitely are. With Nike and LeBron involved, that's almost inevitable, but with John Elliot's background, he knew he had to make a shoe that could be worn on the streets and off the court, and these are just that for me. With iconic history of the LeBron 8 infused in the midsole, this all-new silhouette comes through with the most heat and the most sleek silhouette. So what do you guys think about this shoe? Is it super fresh and luxe, or is it still too basketball-y for you, or are you just not down with the monochromatic colorway? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Catch you later. Picsoleated is taking his talent somewhere else.